Hello, and welcome to another edition of the Playbook for Performance podcast. This is podcast 51. This theme this month is finding joy and being a little less cranky in the workplace. I'm your host, Shauna Corden. And this week we are specifically talking about stop making others miserable. Suck it up. So our mission is to make work fun again. And this month we were really talking about how do we internally make things more fun by finding joy, being a little less cranky. So one of the things that we really try to emphasize in coaching is agency. We are thinking that you are in control of your situation and everything around you. And so in this case, we want to talk about attitude, choosing a proper attitude. So happiness is a choice. We talked about this last week as well, this idea from Bronny's research that if we can make ourselves happy, this is something that people have said over and over again, I wish I would have allowed myself to be happy. It was a choice. And one of the things that goes along with that is if we're going to do something, do it with love. Don't grouse about it, complain about it, etc. Either choose to do it and do it with love, or just don't do it. Don't torture others. You are in control of your attitude. And so we need to choose a healthy attitude. So one of the things that we want to do is identify the triggers that come up for us. What is it that gets us upset? And what are the solutions that we can use to get ourselves out of it? So, what gets you? And we all can get a pretty extensive list going here. So think about this. And again, these triggers are often tied very closely with your values. The things that drive you crazy, the opposite of them are what are important to you. So if it drives you crazy when people are late, punctuality is a value. If it drives you crazy when people stand in the middle of the grocery aisle with their cart and don't recognize that people are trying to go around them, it might be manners or consideration that is really important to you. If you can't stand it when people are wasting your time, then productivity might be important to you. So think about the things that really get you. So even though I know better, one of the things that drives me crazy is older people that are in my life, whom I love, are ignorant about some technology issues. And I'm no pro. I mean, I started in IT, but I can barely reboot my computer. But it drives me crazy when they take actions that I think could make them vulnerable in terms of phishing schemes, things like that. And then I have to go and do the repair or the correction or setting things up, things like that. So that's an example of something that gets me. I have a hard time when people complain. I am a pretty optimistic person. I'm not quite Pollyanna, but I'm like, if you don't like it, change it, right? And that's probably one of the things that drew me to coaching is the agency piece of it. You know, what is it that you can do that will improve the situation? What action can you take? Complaining is not effective. So I'm a big fan of event plus response equals outcome, and we are in control of the response and essentially the outcome. Okay. So these are triggers. These are things that upset us. They can change our attitude. I have a very dear colleague who was on the road a lot. He was in the ag business, and he would have to go from farm to farm to help farmers. And he would stay in these small little roadside motels, and then he would go to a cafe to have his breakfast in the morning. And he talked about how important it was that the server that served him in the morning really set his day. if she was cheerful, if she was a little bit flirty, he didn't use that word, but that's what I imagined, you know, if she called him honey, if she paid close attention to his coffee cup, things like that, and really appeared like happy to see him, then that really started off his day in a wonderful way. And if he had a server that was cranky and just like slopped things about and ignored him, that would set him off as well. And he would continue the day with how the server had basically set the stage for him. So think about that. Is that true for you? Does your commute affect you? Does how you're greeted when you walk in the office affect you? Does what's in your inbox affect you? Think about the things that really get to you. And it could be that we need to get together some solutions that prep the night before so that you're well organized for the morning. Okay. Think about what feeds you. Is it pleasant music? Is it plenty of time? Is it being well organized? Is it having time to yourself before things get really chaotic and busy? And what is it that you can use to kind of recorrect yourself when it gets to a point where things have gone bad? So let's use a scenario. Let's take my friend and the diner experience. Let's say that my friend gets the cranky server. She spills coffee on his newspaper. She acts like he doesn't exist. And he, after he pays his bill, with hopefully a very minimal tip, he walks out and he starts his day. Well, hopefully he's got enough self-awareness to say, hey, this is, I notice I'm in a bad mood. I need to turn this around. Let me go to my checklist. Okay. And so what is your checklist of things that you can use to feed you? And how quickly can those items recompose you? Okay. So, and this works great for holidays too. Okay. So think about, sorry, little early there. Okay. So let me share some things that people have said in the past that they have used that feed them. Cat videos on YouTube, which really cracks me up, but some people it really turns them around. Comics, music, private dance party, writing a quick love letter to someone who is really important, prayer, getting outside, anything like that that helps shift the focus and snaps you out of it. Okay. So that's what we're looking for. And the best practice that my clients have used is they have kept a little checklist on their phone that's either the links to those cat videos, that is, you know, do this, do this, do this. Sometimes they're organized by situation. Are they in the workplace? Are they a family gathering? Are they somewhere where they're trapped and they can't get away? You know, what can they do? Okay. And often what's happening is emotionally we are spiraling up. We are escalating because we are starting to buy into the story that everyone is out to get us. You know, everybody's a jerk. I've had those moments where I'm like, I hate people. So what is it that you're telling yourself that's not accurate? And how can we ground you? So one of the things that my mentor talks about is if you have some keys or coins in your pocket, to be focused on the tactile feeling of those and walk around. Get that energy in motion to kind of dispel that energy or the bad vibes that you're feeling in the moment. Because sometimes others are bad vibes and sometimes we're the bad vibes. So how quickly can these things help you recompose yourself? Okay. So here's the field work. Again, you hear us say this every week. Coaching without action is just entertainment. So the field work is know thyself. I suggest you gather with those you trust. And trust is in capital letters for a reason. Trust. We really want to make sure that the people that you are sharing these triggers with are people that will not use this against you. Okay. Discuss the triggers at the highest level. Don't you hate it when ... Do not go down the rabbit hole. Don't pile on. Don't start gossip. Okay. But do inventory the triggers. And then, as you're going through kind of the forecasting of your day, your week, your month, your holiday, what might come up? And then have a plan of action. So I'm going to be taking a big long trip here in a little bit. I am thinking that, geez, things may not go so well when I've been reading all these articles about lost luggage and everything else in the paper. So I'm planning on exclusively carry-on. And that's one of the things, because I don't want to waste time based on lost luggage. That would be a real trigger for me. So have a plan of action. Get some help from your trusted colleague. If you talk about so-and-so brings up this topic when we go to dinner or we have dinner with the family, and I know they're going to do it, they always do it, what's your typical reaction? Do you start telling yourself they're a jerk, whatever it is? And then how can you quickly refocus to enjoy the rest of what's happening in the space? And have your friends, your trusted colleagues, weigh in. They might have some additional suggestions. But when this thing happens, excuse yourself and adjust your attitude. Everybody gets to use the restroom, right? This is the favorite excuse. Would you excuse me? Or they pretend to get a call. I have to make a call. They go out, they look at their cat videos, or they go into a stall in the restroom. They look at the cat videos. They, do whatever they need to do their happy dance, whatever it might be, and then go back in all smiles like, yeah, you didn't touch me. So that is the field work. Again, inventory the triggers. What are the things that are going to set you off? Anticipate what, as you review or forecast what might happen in your day, your week. Have a plan of action. If this happens, if some smelly guy is next to me on the subway, I will move, I will ask for help, I will I will exit the train and I will get on the next one. Whatever it might be, readjust, and then, reclaim the day. Because remember, the principle behind this is that we are in control of our happiness. And we want to not be the bad vibes in the room. We want to stop making other people miserable by controlling our own attitude and exercising our own agency. So, if I can help you and your team with this as a lunch and learn workshop, this is an extremely popular lesson in the Personal Foundation series. If I can help you choose a happy attitude, a healthy attitude, stop making others miserable, I would love to deliver this workshop for you and your team. You can send a message to Shauna at ShaunaCorden.com or podcast at ShaunaCorden.com. We would love to make your workplace more fun. Until next time, take good care.